Hey, this is Kristen with Collision Hub TV, and if you're a car person, you definitely know who I've got in the booth with me. There's that famous question, if you could have 5 people for dinner, who would you have? And George, you've been on my list for years of people I'd love to sit down and have dinner with and talk cars. We've got George Barris, the original king of customs, in the booth with us today. We're going to talk a little bit about his show. We're also going to talk a little bit about the history of some of the great things that you brought us. You made your name for me, watching some of those great cars on some of the television shows. So there was Beverly Hillbillies, there was the Batmobile,
the Munsters.
Munsters. Tell me a little bit about that.
The Munsters was very interesting because when I went to Dozier and Mosier, they had a whole host there. And I said, well, wait a minute, this family you got is just great. You got Fred, all those different guys. We got to have something better than that. So I run home and taught Shirley and I took pictures of an old 25 Model T, and I cut the pictures, pasted them all together, and I made a 6-door Model T. Of course, we put a thing on the back for Butch, and we got Fred and all those different guys going back and forth. So it made it a lot. You can hear Batman right now. What's that? Batman. Adam, you have to wait because I'm at an interview right now, so we'll talk about the Batmobile later, okay? Oh, yeah. How did they find me here back here?
They always seem to find you know where you're at.
Well, that was the interesting thing about how many of the things had started. But I got some good stories to tell you, because I'm a guy with a lot of stories, because I've been around. You weren't even born yet. Neither was Christina from PBG, because I started in the days when there was a paint company called Ditchler. Now, I had to paint what we call candy apple way back in the 40s. To do that, the guy had a white car. He wanted it red, but cheap because he wanted to sell it. I said, fine. I went ahead and sprayed it. And I said, hey, wait a minute. That's bright, but cloudy. So I went and got some silver paint. I painted some silver. I painted the Ditchler toners over it again. It's getting better. So then I run to Gemalite Plastic and I get the gold powder and put it in the clear. And I said, oh, wait. I sprayed it off. Oh, that's it. I go to the Carnival. I said, candy apple red. And that's how I got it with Ditchler toners. So way back. And I said, Christina, you weren't even born yet.
So we got the name Candy Apple Red because you fixed a guy's car that wanted to go cheap, and then you went to the fair.
Yeah, that's right. And got the name Candy Apple. So of course it became very good. Even General Motors, Chuck Jordan came to me and he says, George, I want Candy Apple paint for production. I said, Chuck, you can't do that. We got to put a base on it. We got to put the gold, and then we got to put the candy, and then we got to put the clear. I said, but he did it. Chuck Jordan for General Motors and Mitchell. Those are the great days.
Yeah, and got that into production, because I don't think there's anybody that when you think about cars, candy apple doesn't come to your mind. Now we're doing all kinds of different kind of candy laydowns, but still candy apple is the color we want.
Yeah, well, that's a translucent. It's a toner that you work on. Like right now, I'm doing my very first Mercury in 10 years, a 1951 Mercury. We're going to go to the Grand National Roadster Show in LA, and we're going to do the car in 3 days. I got Winfield, I got Wild Bill, I got the Kid, I got the Keith, I got all the old guys that are still left, and we're going to put that car together, and Richie's going to paint it with PBG.
Awesome. So now you're bringing in the crew, so Gene Winfield and the gang's going to join you.
All great.
You guys are going to build this Mercury, and then Rich Evans is going to come in and paint it.
Yeah, they're all going to be doing it. But now, the big show, of course, the one we're really doing is Car Warriors.
Car Warriors.
That's on Speed Channel. And the big thing is that we got 2 teams that are going to fight against themselves. We're going to have 2 cars. It's at the studios. And they got 72 hours to customize what they're going to do on their cars.
Wow.
And that means it's got to be a war, because each team wants to beat out the other team. And I'm the chief judge. And I'm coming in with Shine, who was one of the kids, and also Mad Max. He used to be with Pimp Your Ride on TV.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in there and we're going to judge those guys, and of course, whoever wins gets to win up to $100,000 worth of awards and prizes and money. So it's going to be a great show. We're going to air probably February 23rd on Speed Channel. So you're going to find a lot of action coming out in the car world now more than ever.
Right. So when these teams get there, they don't even know what kind of car they're getting, and you're surprising them with, here's your car, here's everything.
Here's your car, here you are, here you are, here you are. Now go to work. And then I go around and I agitate them. Now, you guys, this is a war. Car Warriors. So, yeah, I got to beat that guy. What is he doing to that fender? I want to change my fender. Oh, and then of course, both teams get PBG, so
Right.
they get to mix what they want to do if they change their colors.
Right.
So they're going to experiment with their own paint using the toners and everything that we have from PBG.
That's amazing. So when the guys and the teams come in, do they have a budget or that they're kind of working with to do their customization? Are they limited to some supplies or?
Yeah, well, they're limited to what they can do in 72 hours. And that's pretty good because they're going to have more than coffee breaks and cigarettes. Because,
right.
And well, they have the hotel, the whole studio's got the hotel, they got everything there. So whoever wants to grab a snap, they can do it. But they only got 72 hours, and if they want to win, and they're picking teams out. Now, I'm even out here picking guys from the different territories. I say, you want to be on one of the teams? Boom, we'll register you, get you next to the producer, and we'll get you to become one of the team members.
Oh, great.
So we're going to have teams from all over the United States and Canada to be a participant in one way or the other to make them happy. See?
That's pretty amazing.
So we got so many things happening out there. Well, California is kind of a good bed for other guys. We got all the good cars. I was a 5-time winner at the Grand National Roadster with my hot rods, the a la carte and Emperor and all those, my Twister T. And so I've been pretty fortunate. Very fortunate.
I think it's, one of the misconceptions is sometimes we sit around and we talk about kind of the golden days of cars. So the 50s and 60s in California, those were when some of the great customs and some of the rods were coming out for us. But I think there's still a lot of good building going on, and shows like this are a great place for us to see what's going on that we miss.
This is unbelievable. Look at those cars out there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Look at the workmanship and the characters. I mean, I was a kid, and here's how I started. I was 13 years old. My parents had a hotel and a restaurant in Northern California, and they had me washing dishes. And they were round, and I told my dad, I said, well, if they're going to be round, I want them to be wheels. Well, they were nice. They supported me. At 13 years old, they gave my brother and I their hand-me-down 1925 Buick. Now, what can I do in 1938 for customized? There was nothing done. So I go to the hardware store and I get some house paint. I painted scalps with a brush. I go to Woolworth 5 and dime, if you can remember that.
Yeah.
Foxtails. I went to the kitchen store, got some pots and pans, made some hubcaps. Then I went to my mother's cabinets in her bedroom where they had little gold knobs to open the cabinets, put that in my grill. All the kids said, oh boy, you're the king of the customizer. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
I go home that night. My mom, you know, I can't get, I'm a Greek, I can't get the doors open. Where's my knobs? So I'm grounded again for another week.
But you were still the king of customs.
Still a king
You were
of
just a
customs.
grounded king of customs. So.
Well, the kids liked it. So by the time I got my first job, was a 32 Ford that I put cat-eye taillights in, and I got $10. Oh my God, I'm going to be a rich customizer. I got $10, and I customized this car. And that's when I said, well, if I'm going to customize, I'm going to take and change the name, C's to a K, and that's how it started. Customs with a K. So you can see we got an awful lot of stories. It'll give you time to talk.
No, that's amazing. I mean, that's kind of the stuff that we like to hear about. I mean, I know you've got some great stories and kind of a long history. I think all of us now that are out working with cars, our history kind of stems from you and Gene and those guys that kind of laid the path down for us. But over the years and your experience, what advice do you have to some of us that are kind of just getting into the customizing world and paint and want to make a name?
The best thing in the world is to stay with it. Work, do it, become very involved, learn, test, try everything. Don't give up. I mean, there's many times we run into weather, we run into defaults and different things, but don't ever let that stop you. Try different ideas. Don't be another Me Too. Don't try to copy what that guy, what Charlie did, what Bill did. Okay, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not going to do what Tom did. I'm going to do what I like and be an individual and create your own. And you'll find out that your road for express or just success will be on that throttle. If you don't try it that way, we never will be able to experiment and do things. So I taught my grandson the same thing. You go ahead and try different things, and he's into marketing and changing all that around stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm fortunate though. We're a family-run company. My daughter runs the company. My son is doing all the computer graphics and all the literature. And my grandson now is going to college, and he's learning all the new things to do. And that's the fun thing about it, is when you do have your families and your friends become a part. Yeah. Even my Fuzzy Wuzzy over here, he's my photographer. He follows me all around the United States. And I got a photo lab that's a mile long. So.
Oh, I think it's the great thing about the car business and car people in general is the family orientation and how, you know, you always see generations of people in the business, and it just, it's a great place to be.
Yeah, well, car world, as you can see right here, look at this. We're in Little Rock, and look at these beautiful cars. The EBR winners, they're Riddler winners, and there's stripers, there's pinstripe, and even girls. A gal I knew very well, her name was Renee. She comes, she says, 16 years old, she says, I want to be an airbrush artist. I says, you're a girl. She says, I want to be an airbrush artist. I said, well, because there's a school in Anaheim. She went to the school. Today, she's #1 airbrush artist and striper. And she does all the studio work. We just finished a special bus for Playboy, a gargoyle hearse. She put all the way down the side of this hearse for Hugh Hefner. Girls can do it. Look at her. She's a great camera girl. See?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and there's another one. See, you got all the girls here.
You know, we keep
got another one over there.
We keep them around.
That's good. Get rid of the guys.
It's just like the car show. They just, you know, they draw the crowd. They you know, I got to have something that makes me look good, right? So.
Well, you look good because you got PBG going on one side, instrumental on the other side, and you got jeans. And you got kids' shoes, so we're all right.
And we're hanging out pretty good. Well, George, I appreciate you taking the time to stop by and talk to me. I'm so excited about Car Warriors. Car Warriors is going to be on Speed February 23rd?
Yeah.
February 23rd is going to premiere. Be sure and check the show out. I think you're going to love it. I know I'm very excited about it. Anytime I get a chance to see some legends and working on cars, I'm always there. So George is going to be at the car show through here till Sunday.
I'll be here running.
So be sure.
Hey, Black Widow, you going to let me stay? There's the Black Widow. She's another one.
She's going to let you stay?
Yeah, she's going to let me stay.
All right. Well, he's going to be here till Sunday, so be sure and come on down and get a chance to meet the legend, get an autograph, and hear a story or two because he's got some great ones. Thanks.